Sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta at sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa akin.
Alex Eala broke down in tears on center court when the tournament director revealed a priceless secret gift in Abu Dhabi, surprising the tennis world. It was more than a moment. History was being written in real time. The Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open's director did more than laud the Filipino star in a move that sent shockwaves from Manila to Madrid. He referred to her as the greatest young talent he had ever seen, dramatically altering her life. He then displayed an enigmatic box that, according to insiders, contains a rare gift that has the power to change the WTA's course. Fans worldwide held their breath, feeling as though they were seeing fate as Alex wailed beneath the desert lights. You must go back to February 2026 at Zed Sport City, where Eala not only showed up, but also barged through the gates to fully grasp the gravity of this moment. Alex arrived in the UAE with a hunger for more after reaching a career-high world rating of number 45 and becoming the first Filipina to ever make it into the top 50. She took on her best friend in the opening round and showed no mercy, mercilessly defeating him 6-4, 6-3. However, everything changed in the second round. The match appeared to be over when she fell behind 0-4 in the third set against Alexandra Sasnovich, a seasoned giant killer. The audience became quiet. Alex refused to give up, even while critics readied their comforting messages. She turned despair into genius and won in a thrilling tiebreak by clawing back point by point, digging deep into her puso, her indestructible Filipino heart. The stadium exploded. Chaos ensued. Nigel Gupta, the event director, was enthralled and not simply cheering as he watched from the VIP box. He saw something that money couldn't purchase in that comeback. Number 1, in the heart of a future planet. It wasn't merely a win in that contest. It was a miracle in the desert, a revelation, and the event that permanently altered Alex Eala's course in life. It was the realization that he was watching the emergence of the next worldwide celebrity for a director who had witnessed thousands of matches and legends strolling through his tournament grounds. Alex Eala's recovery from that deficit involved more than just skill and technique. Character was key, as was the will to concede defeat when all reasonable instincts told you it was already over. A seasoned professional, Alexandra Sasnovich has defeated Grand Slam winners and is an expert at ending games under duress. She failed to consider, however, the tremendous determination of a Filipina, 19, who has spent her entire life overcoming the barriers. You must comprehend Eala's path in order to fully appreciate the significance of this event. She didn't come from a wealthy family or a nation with a long history of tennis. She battled for every chance, scholarship, and wild card, securing her spot via faith and selflessness. Far from her home, she trained at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, where she learned how to be resilient, compete with the best, and survive. Yes, she won junior Grand Slams, but most people's goals end on the professional circuit. With so many previous prodigies slogging through qualifications in the hopes of a good break, the WTA is a cruel sport. Eala, however, is unique. You can't teach her anything. All of a sudden, there was no denying that ineffable quality, the distinction between excellent and outstanding. When the pressure is at its highest, Alex Eala's veins feel icy. A remarkable capacity to elevate herself when the stakes are high. Nigel Gupta, a tournament director with over 30 years of experience in the tennis industry, was drawn to that very thing. Then the moment that stunned everyone arrived. Tournament directors typically have calculated, business-like demeanors, courteous smiles, and formulaic compliments. Not this time, though. Not with Alex. As Eala was wiping away her tears and perspiration and starting to pack her luggage following her valiant victory over Sasnovich, a shout went around the stadium asking her to come to center court. The audience became quiet. Alex appeared perplexed. Was she having problems? Did something go wrong? It wasn't protocol. This has never happened before. Subsequently, Nigel Gupta entered the court, grabbed the microphone, and spoke like a devotee who had just witnessed a holy event rather than a businessman. He looked her in the eye and spoke in a tremulous voice, delivering words that are now popular all over the world. I've been watching tennis for 30 years, Alexandra. I've witnessed the greats. However, you're the most gifted young person I have ever seen, Ella. The stadium let forth a gasp. Superior to Emma Raducanu, superior to Coco Gauff, and superior to all the young celebrities crowned by the press. He wasn't done yet. He called her a force of nature, not just a player, and lauded her perfect skill, exceptional tactical vision, and fire, and will that intimidate opponents. With Filipino supporters yelling with pride, Alex stood motionless, blushing behind her towel, and her coaches standing in shock. Time seems to stop when Gupta motioned for assistance. They carried a beautiful box onto the court, something very personal, not a check or a trophy. The stadium became so quiet you could hear a pin drop when the director raised it into the light. As phones filmed and cameras flashed, thousands of people held their breath. Everyone was anxious to record an almost surreal moment. The director then made a firm but quiet statement. Words don't cost much, Alexandra. What counts are actions. I'd want to present you with something. I've kept a secret gift for a very long time, awaiting the appropriate player. The person who really exemplifies what it means to be a champion. I found her today. Alex Eala's hands were shaking when he put the box in them. Slowly, as though she were opening a precious object, she opened it. And she started crying as soon as she realized what was inside. She broke down in tears. She looked from the director to the box and then to her squad in the stands, who were also crying, before her palm went to her lips and she shook her head in shock. She clutched the box to her chest like it was priceless. Mouthing only, unable to speak, the emotion was unadulterated and unmistakably genuine. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. This was a rare, genuine bond between a man who loves the sport and a woman who is giving up everything to follow her goal. It wasn't a contrived moment or a publicity stunt. The question that is currently engulfing the tennis community. What did the box contain? More curiosity has been stoked by the organizer's silence. According to some sources, it was a golden key that granted entry to every Mubadala-sponsored tournament across the globe for the following 5 years. $1 million offer that would ensure ranking points, prize money, and sponsor visibility while relieving Ella of the harsh pressures of qualifying. There are those who whisper something even more remarkable. The director himself arranged for a living legend, perhaps Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal, to write a personal letter of mentorship, which would allow access to private training sessions with the tennis gods, learn strategy from Federer's brilliance, or become an expert in clay court warfare under Nadal's watchful eye. That kind of access is something money simply cannot buy. Relationships, respect, and the unique capacity to see brilliance before the rest of the world does are all important. The gift is a precious piece of tennis history, according to the loudest rumor roiling the tennis community. A vintage treasure, like a pendant or necklace that was worn during a pivotal victory by a legend like Serena Williams or Billie Jean King. Passed on to the following generation as a torch. Consider the significance of that symbolism. It takes more than just jewels to bring a bit of tennis history onto the court. It serves as a blessing, a duty, and a continual reminder that you are following in the giant's footsteps and could one day be one of them. The director allegedly referred to it as the key to her fate, regardless of the truth. And based on Alex Eala's response, it had the greatest impact on her. Money was never the issue here. It has to do with recognition. It has to do with approval. That type of encouragement can alter a life for someone who has spent years battling injuries, doubt, and heartache while slogging through the lower ranks. It was a powerful figure in the sport staring a young athlete in the eye and saying, I see you. I believe in you. You are special. The entire planet sensed it. The internet took off. Hashtags such as #LawGift and #TheChosenOne became the most popular in the Philippines and entered the top trends worldwide. Analysts and fans alike are rushing to describe this endorsement from a major tournament director as utterly unprecedented, saying it puts a target on Alex Eala's back but also gives her armor, sending a clear message to the locker room that she is now the one to beat. This is because they may have just witnessed the birth of tennis's next immortal. Additionally, observe the time. She has advanced to the quarterfinals and will next play the formidable Ekaterina Alexandrova. Do you really believe she will feel exhausted or scared after being told she is the best young talent ever and getting a gift that made her cry? No, she's going to feel untouchable. Alexandrova is serious. A top 30 dynamo with several WTA titles, a massive serve, powerful ground strokes, and Grand Slam quarterfinal experience. She is the favorite on paper. However, momentum cannot be measured by paper. Belief is not captured on paper. What occurs when a player genuinely feels destined for greatness cannot be measured on paper. This present and this occasion in Abu Dhabi may serve as the impetus and pivotal moment we frequently discuss. Similar to Serena's debut at the US Open or Djokovic's recognition of his leadership abilities following the Davis Cup. This may be the moment when Alex Eala went from hope to knowledge, from promise to inevitable. It is impossible to overestimate the psychological influence. Tennis requires both cerebral and physical skills. Self-assurance is money. Power comes from belief. The body follows the mind's commitment. The shots become more daring. Battles become more intense. Boundaries vanish. That's what Eala is doing at the moment. However, pressure comes along with recognition. The same voices who cheer now will be ready to criticize tomorrow. Every game will be scrutinized, and every defeat will be exaggerated. The cost of being anointed is that. Nevertheless, the raw passion and vulnerability of that heartbreaking moment on the court were genuine. The young athlete was overcome with validation after years of arduous work in a sport that can be harsh and unforgiving, rather than by hype. We were reminded of the original reason we were drawn to sports. They provide us with transcendental experiences that allow us to see the best of humanity. With hypotheses erupting on social media, the mystery surrounding the gift continues to enthrall people worldwide. It is thought by some that it was a racket used in a legendary match. Others believe it was a handwritten note intended exclusively for one person, written by a champion and providing knowledge. Even rumors of long-term funding or guaranteed sponsorship are circulating. Actually, there's a lovely thing about Alex Eala's decision to keep it private. We might never find out. Not all information must be made public. Not all miracles require an explanation. There are moments that should remain sacrosanct. We do know, however, that this action will have a lasting effect. This narrative will inspire young athletes everywhere to have a little more confidence in themselves. They'll see that in a sport that sometimes seems cruel, heart, sacrifice, and tenacity can still be recognized, and that a champion is defined by their journey rather than just their final destination. They'll realize that sometimes all it takes to make a big difference is one person believing in you. Alex Eala's victory over Ekaterina Alexandrova in the forthcoming quarterfinal will be exciting, and she will go to the WTA 500 semifinals, which is the greatest accomplishment of her career. With ranking points, she might place in the top 40 or even higher. Furthermore, it would demonstrate that Abu Dhabi's ability to regularly compete with and outperform the game's top players was no accident. Furthermore, this event has already been a huge success, even if she doesn't win. She has gained admirers, gained respect, found faith, and been given a gift that obviously means more to her than any award. The schedule for tennis never slows down. Another game, another city, another opportunity. Careers, however, are defined by specific times. Years later, players recall those moments as the turning point in their lives. Abu Dhabi in February 2026 might be that time for Alex. And since this is more than just tennis, we will be present for every game, significant event, and chapter as it develops. This is the beginning of something unique. That is the main goal of Champion Tennis. We tell tales instead of just reporting scores. We acknowledge excellence while it is being made, and we honor champions. Furthermore, Alexandra Eala is a future superstar. A tennis sensation has emerged from the Philippines. The world has discovered a player worth watching each time she takes the court, and the WTA has discovered its next big star. Abu Dhabi was just the start of what looks to be an incredible adventure, and Alex's inner fire is real. We now want to know what you believe was in the box. A valuable piece of tennis history, a multi-million-dollar sponsorship contract, or something more enigmatic? Leave your most outrageous theories in the space provided below. All of them are welcome to be heard.